Well, since the video I'm speaking about is unfiltered, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna come from behind the camera and give you guys an unfiltered commentary and response to it. Okay, Bayleigh spoke about Janelle and Kaysar. Bayleigh spoke about Janelle and Kaysar, spoke about her relationship with Janelle and how she got close to Janelle from jump, and she knew better to jump on the ship of both of them because, well, she said it really didn't matter because she was already a target anyway, but she knew not to jump all feet in as far as Janelle and Kaysar because she knew they were on the way out the door, but she and Janelle got close. And, you know, as far as Kaysar's concerned, people used to, in the fans, but talk about her, like, because the way she would talk to Kaysar and like what Swaggy would say. You know, Swaggy was like, well, they're like brother and sister. You know, your brother and sister, you talk doing to each other or whatever. It's kind of a normal thing, but people didn't understand their relationship. But Kaysar's wife came out and was like, y'all need to be quiet. They, you know, Bayleigh and Kaysar's relationship is like that. You know what you're talking about. So they shut it down. So it was just nice for her to talk about the two of them. So there was a lot of reactions that because Swaggy was, you know, watching as like a, you know, a Big Brother fan, like we were, and he would say things to Bayleigh to see her live reaction, like when he told her, you know, everybody thought that Janelle and Kaysar were crazy, but he was like, Cody was like, I'm gonna put them up, and Bayleigh was like, what? Let's speak about Black Girl Magic. Okay, a lot of fans thought Swaggy is speaking to his wife, but a great interviewer, I will say that, said, you know, people thought y'all had a prior relationship. They was like, no. Bayleigh was like, when she saw Davon, it was like a boom connection. It was like, okay, girl, I got you. It was like that. It was just, and they knew when they spoke and said, you know, we're here, we're gonna do this. We go, you know. They knew what they were doing. They were trying to be the first black woman to win Big Brother. They both had a goal. It didn't take long. The conversation took 5 minutes. We saw some of it out on live feeds. People thought they had a prior relationship. They just, and like and I told you guys before that Bayleigh and Davon were trying to hide it for the first few weeks, but it didn't matter because, like I said before, there were two black women. They were going to automatically think that they was a pair. They actually started calling them Day Bay. It was the people in the house started calling them that. Now, the whole thing with David, she spoke about, you know, the reason why reverse racism. I thought that was people were saying that. I thought that was crazy. But she said they didn't want to vote because he was black because there's only 3 of them. Like, you have 12 white people. I already spoke about this before, that the number of minorities compared to the majority, yes, you're going to try to keep them in the house. I don't get it. You chose them. That's not game. But I had already said that before. When it came to Tyler, Swaggy really spoke in the beginning saying that, because he was telling Bay what was going on, and he felt like that Tyler had, well, Bayleigh said too, that he had a guilty conscience from her season. And that, of course, the fans, all of us was upset because him using Black Lives Matter, it didn't really matter because, like Swaggy and just like Bayleigh said, he didn't have to use Black Lives Matter. He could have just said he wanted to, you know, fall on his sword to help them out because he felt guilty from their season. It's a lot of things that didn't make sense, that still don't make sense to me to this day, why he used the Black Lives Matter. And she spoke about how both of them said they don't think that Tyler's racist. You know, Angela and Swaggy was texting each other while this was going on. But like Swaggy said, if they both were fighting in the house, they really can't talk. You know, it's best for them to wait until he comes out the house, she comes to the house, and then they will circle back. But he did feel like, you know, the comments that were made that I was surprised about, because Bayleigh, when she said, I never gave Tyler permission to bash me, because remember they had that conversation that, like she said, if you hear anything about me, I tell you, and vice versa. You know, it's like the way he would bash her, like, oh, she always used the black, you know, race for everything. You know, the stuff that he said to me was just like, you know, outlawed to me. Now, one thing I didn't know, the Swaley, which is Bayleigh and, you know, Swaggy, and Tangela, which is Angela and Tyler, I didn't even know they were feuding for 2 years. And Bayleigh says once he comes out, she does not want to continue with the negativity. She wants it to be, as their future grows, they have children, get married. She wants to, be able to happy holidays, beautiful family, not be with the negative, because they're all part of the Big Brother Club. Now, another thing that Swaggy was telling Bay that, because as they're in the house, us as fans watching the live feeds can see things, obviously, that the people in the house cannot see. And he was saying to her about how after Tyler got through speaking to them about I want to, put myself on the block and all of this, when he went upstairs to talk to Christmas, 3 hours passed. The only thing that we saw on the feed when he walked in and said, I feel like that Bay and Dare are on the block because of me. And then, like Swaggy said, the feeds were cut. And so this is Bayleigh's first time hearing that. She's just like, because, people, and he was telling the different views of all of us as far as CBS. Well, I feel like CBS, stopped Tyler. And then all of a sudden he changed his mind. I have also said CBS knew about some of it. It's just so many things. Of course, we'll never know about it. It is what it is. But the whole thing, to me, is all right. Now, one thing that Bayleigh did say that I was interested about Tyler, that she said, the feed probably didn't show it, that Tyler had yelled at her. Now, I know he did get upset with her about the time when, she said she had mentioned that Dani was coming for them. I knew he was upset about that. But then she was saying it was another time that he had kind of chewed her out and she just let it go. Like I said before, Bayleigh to me handled everything like a lady. Like, she completely handled everything like a lady, from the fight to everything. And speaking of that, we're not going to get too much into the fights. I've already did commentary about it. I'm mostly speaking about, her video interview with her husband, Swaggy. When she spoke about Thanksgiving, Christmas, she said she felt like Christmas went out of her way to put Day and Bay up. Like, went out of her way to do it. And that's probably what really hurt Bay. Because she did handle Christmas differently than she handled Tyler. Acting like everything was okay. She was like, you're not getting, you cannot hug me. I think she went up to her after the nomination trying to go hug her. She was like, no, you're not going to act like everything is good. We're not going to act like that. It's, it's a wrap. And it's a game. We're going to play, Like, Christmas, when she told Baby that her and Day stuck out. Oh, they stuck out because they're black? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm giving you my unfiltered response, honestly. The double standards I could not stand. Like, for instance, when she started clapping her hands, like, look, I know you guys remember Batty Girls, when Tanisha with the pans, famous reality show situation. At the time, people was like, oh, yeah. I'm not going to say the things, But looking at 2020 and seeing Christmas clap her hands, which is something that they always say, we clap our hands in people's face. This is like an old stereotype, and all of that. And, So when she's doing all of that stuff, putting her fingers in Bailey's face, doing the clap hand, Christmas, I'm like, Christmas, who are you trying to get approval from? Because, Because if Bayleigh would have done that, it would have been Bayleigh is ghetto and all of that. And her having that burden, like she was saying in her interview, to be a positive, somebody black on reality TV. Because, of course, they'll use it. Oh, I had a horrible experience as a black person, so everybody black is like that. And unfortunately, that is a heavy burden that we have to walk around with. Miss Dani, Swaggy did say she pretty much trashed Bayleigh's game for 5 weeks, and then like the last week it was different. She did. She dragged Bayleigh. I can remember when Tyler was in HOH and Davon as well. She would always put something in Tyler's ear to make him feel the way towards those girls. The same with Christmas. Dani, at one point in time, I felt like everything, as far as to come after somebody or a target or whatever, it was always Bayleigh and Davon, which is something I still. Why is the black women is always like always the target? Black women, got them. Boop. You know, I just don't get it. There was so many. I've said this over and over. There were so many duos in the house that you could have taken out to make it easier to even if you were planning to go after them. Why were they the first? What's it, 12 to 3, 10 to 3 ratio? Come on, I just don't get it. But towards the end, I will admit, Dani did come around. She changed. She really, especially when she heard things about Tyler had been doing, the manipulation and everything. She just changed how she looked with Bayleigh. She just felt like pure crap. I don't know. It just completely changed with that. But Nicole. Nicole puts on this whole I'm so sweet face, right? But the whole thing with Bayleigh and her with that whole showman, she tried to force on David. And because Bayleigh stuck up for her and was like, what are you doing? Stop it. You had to kiss a few frogs before you got yours. And she didn't like that statement. It's like, girl, stop. I thought that was so babyish. Now, I understood why she didn't like the comment. But the way she treated it, you know, and I'm like, from there, she wanted Bayleigh gone from there. I just feel like a lot of times that the reaction that they did to me was, you know, dramatic. And if it was the other way around, because you're trying to force a showman because that's the way you work in Big Brother. Not everybody works that way. You're trying to force a showman between David and Davon. And Bayleigh was uncomfortable about it. And she was like, I don't like it. Because see, at the end of the day, this is Bayleigh's going to be her last experience as far as reality TV. So me hoping that she's going to be on the challenge sounds like it's not going to happen, because from what Bayleigh said, she's done reality TV. She's from Detox from Big Brother. This was her last. I want to talk about everything, and I'm done with it. So this was my unfiltered commentary, which I wanted to do, because I'm speaking about what I just watched on the video. Still a big fan, and also too. Okay, I have to show this because I typed, you know, under the live once it was posted. I even shared it. And she wrote her little comment under it. Of course, you know I took a picture of it, okay? I had to, but thanks for following Kamish Reviews. Leave your comments below, and do not forget to like and please share. And thank you, and I love you.